The darkness, it flows within me. It seeps from every vein.
Hey, so I wanted to talk about the new ban list and just give my own personal thoughts on this. There is the group discussion that I have every format with me and my friends, some of my teammates, etc. We discuss live on stream, everything about the format, etc., etc. The new list, the new hits, etc. So just go check that out if you want to see like a full extensive thing. But rather than go through every card one at a time and explain my personal opinions on certain things, some things I want to like bring up, and essentially the main point that I have to say today is that I don't think that this ban list sucks. I don't think it's good either. I don't think it sucks. I don't think it's anything. I think this ban list is irrelevant because of the fact that it's not that the ban list sucks. It's not that the ban list, is bad. It's the format and the decks within this format that are what's bad for the game. Now, we've been in a 3-deck format before, so arguably, we're in a 3-deck format now where we have Cosmo, Monarchs, and Burning Abyss is the best decks, right? So we've been in this situation before last year where we had Shaddolls, Burning Abyss, Cliffort, and that was a really fun format. That was a really good format. Just before Necros came out, Duelist Alliance was a really, really fun format. One of the best I've experienced personally, although I don't have much to say on that because I haven't played for so long. I've only played for like 2 years, so I can't really judge that, but so far from what I've played, I feel like Duelist Alliance is definitely one of my favourite formats. So the difference between that format and what we have now is the fact that we still have 3 competitive decks, 3 really good decks that all kind of sort of mesh well together. One beats the other sometimes, we have this sort of dynamic going on. The difference between that format and this format is that this format just isn't fun. It's very luck based, it's very sacky, very ignorant. Whereas those formats did obviously have their problems, like Duelist Alliance format did have its problems, but it was a lot better than it is now. And there are multiple reasons for that. Now, one of the reasons I think is that I just think the current decks available in the game are everything that is bad and terrible and wrong with this game. Now, that's why this format sucks. So the ban list doesn't change that. There's nothing this ban list fixes that can really eradicate that. Now, what do I mean by that? So one of the best decks, going back to the adjusted list format, so last format, every competitive deck in that format was just bad for this game. Every deck was just terrible, bad Yu-Gi-Oh! So we had Draco Pals. Draco Pals are everything that is wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to Solitaire, because that deck has, mirror matches are pretty fun, like outside of Wavering Eyes. But other than that, still for the most part, the Draco Pals matchup is just Solitaire. And that's one bad aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You're just doing all your combos turn 1, throwing your board on the field, passing turn to your opponent, and hoping that they can, not make a bigger combo than you just did a combo, right? So you can literally, for the most part, show each other your hands and then see who's going to win from the start. Obviously, it's not that luck-based. There's a lot of player interaction and stuff like that. There's things to prevent that. But for the most part, that deck is very, very solitaire, and that's one of the things that's terrible with Yu-Gi-Oh! The second deck that we have available to us was Cosmo. And Cosmo are another aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's everything wrong with this game, and that's ignorance. Because Cosmo have one of the most ignorant, degenerate cards ever printed. That's, arguably, not been banned, ever, or has stayed in the game to be relevant, and that's Dart Destroyer. Dart Destroyer is one of the most ignorant cards ever, because it's a 3000 body, can be targeted, pops a card on summon, and it does very, very stupid plays where it can target itself, pop itself, get Strawman get it back, and end phase use Tin Can. So many multiple combos that Dart Destroyer can do like that, but the fact that it's 3000, can be targeted, makes it so that this cripples the vast majority of decks. Every rogue deck ever probably gonna have a tough time to get over a Dart Destroyer. Draco Pals have Ignister, and that's it. Monarchs, of course, have Stormforce, they have an easier time. Burning Abyss have no way to get around the Dart Destroyer other than through trying to make an F0. That's a bit of a challenge when you're trying to fight through Cosmojos and Strikes. So, just this one card is it's very helmet, it's very ignorant. So, Draco Pals have their solitaire problems, Cosmo have their ignorance issues, right? The other deck is Monarchs. Monarchs are, again, they embody something that is completely wrong with this game, and that is Floodgates. Everything that is wrong with them, nothing I hate more than Floodgates in this game. Monarchs can be one of the most ignorant decks ever. They just activate Dominion, and you have to have an out. If you're playing an extra deck, you just have to have an out. If you don't have an out, you just simply, it's roll of the dice, it's luck. Do I have an out to my Dominion? yes, I can probably play, maybe win. Do I not have it out to Dominion? I just lose. If I'm playing Burning Abyss, I just lose. Like, if I don't have my Twin Twister, I can't play. I just cannot play my deck. If I'm playing Draco Pals, cannot play my deck. Nothing I can do. Could potentially Wavering Eyes, search Eccentric Archfiend. Obviously that's not possible anymore with the new list. And yeah, so that's the 3 big decks of last format. One final one, Burning Abyss, kind of came into the fray late into the format, with Beatrice support obviously getting a big boost. Deck wasn't really that relevant before Beatrice, but now it is, with the PK support and stuff like that. And that deck, again, fulfills one of the aspects that is wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh!, and that is luck. Now, not so much, right, but when your deck is based on milling, it becomes pretty luck-based, you know. In a mirror match, if you hit a clutch Farfa, you can outright win from there. If you hit a clutch second Seer, you can outright win from there. So I think Burning Abyss is the lesser of these 4 offenders, but still, for the most part, these decks all fulfill an aspect of the game that is just bad with the game. I feel like Burning Abyss is probably one of the better decks for that situation, because there is more player interaction when you're playing against Burning Abyss. There's more back and forth, there's more strategy, there's more thinking, there's more skill. But there's still this element of luck, of course. You know, nobody likes that. And of course, luck is in all of these decks as well, because it's like, do I have my Dominion out? That's very luck based. Do I have a way to get through Dart Destroyer? I can either out your Dart Destroyer, or get striked and lose, or get Cosmojoed and lose. So yeah, and that's kind of the main point that I wanted to bring up. It's that the format itself cannot really fix any of these things without outright killing these decks. And I feel like the only way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Can get better at this stage is not really through a ban list, unless they really want to, like, ban Dominion, ban Dart Destroyer. Draco Pal's probably got overhit a little bit, but I think if you were to do these other hits, then they're probably fine where they are now. Draco Pal's is still a very strong deck, but it makes it a lot more reactive without all the wombo combo Ariadne. Like, Ariadne was an absolute horrible card. Like, that was another very solitaire aspect of the game, just the fact that you could search out, you know, the most powerful trap cards ever printed in the game. You know, it's really crazy what that deck could do. So, you know, I'm glad that, like, the deck got hit, but I feel like they kind of maybe hit the wrong cards. I would have preferred to see Ariadne get hit. Ignister probably could have got put to 2 or something, maybe. Ignister isn't even going to be relevant next format, let's be real. Next list, sorry, with Winter Blossom. I don't really have any personal bias. I played all decks last format. I played them all in equal proportions. I did get my invite with Draco Pals. That's only because it wasn't even like a deck I particularly enjoyed. It was just a deck that I thought would give me the best chance of getting my invite, because it does have the highest ceiling. I played Burning Abyss as well for the late part of the format. At the start of the format, I played a lot of Phantom Knight, like pure Phantom Knight without Burning Abyss. I didn't even play Draco Pals in real life. I played it mostly online. I played a lot of Cosmo online as well. I played a lot of Monarch. I played that a lot in real life. So I honestly, like, I know people are probably going to try and take sides and stuff, but I feel like I'm not really particularly biased towards any deck. I think, like, all of these decks have their really, really, you know, ignorant, luck-based, solitaire, horrible aspects of the game that just make Yu-Gi-Oh! Bad, right? And I feel like the only way forward from this point on is really just to, like, move forward and wait till we get new support. Like, wait till there's new decks coming out. You know, maybe Dark Magician will make the game fun again. Maybe Blue Eyes Dark Magician format could actually be fun, like, based off of, like, how skillful and stuff things are. It could actually be fun, you never know. Because where the game is at now, at least with this ban list, it didn't address the issues of ignorance, it didn't address the issues of floodgates, and solitaire. Well, it kind of did fix the issue of solitaire, because Draco Pals aren't really a deck anymore. I personally think they will be, but we'll have to wait and see, because, you know, Draco Pals cannot play through Cosmona. Like, they strike or they Dart Destroy your one Ignister, you lose. That's it. Like, not really much I can say to you there. That's just a fact. The deck just has no way to deal with the Dart Destroyer. Like, if they stop your one Ignister, you know, and potentially they'll still Winter Blossom it. So yeah, that's kind of how I wanted to summarize this talk. This is just what I wanted to say. It's not really the format, it's not really the lists. I just feel like the decks that are currently available and for us in the game are just not really good, healthy, well-designed decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! I just think that the only way forward is hopefully some new archetypes will be fun. Maybe the new Tramid stuff will be fun. Raid Raptors might become meta if everything now gets... They probably won't get hit, obviously, because we've just had our ban list, so obviously that's not going to happen. But maybe with new support in the future, different decks will become fun, more viable. It'll promote more of an aspect of skill and player interaction again, rather than what we have now, which is Dart Destroyer being one of the most ignorant cards of the format. Draco Pals were at least one of the most, like, horribly bad, like, terrible decks ever, like, because of just how solitaire and degenerate they could be. Monarchs, of course. Dominion is just absurd. Absolutely absurd card. Yeah, so it's just not been great. Burning Abyss, like, I'm so shocked that they didn't hit them. I really don't know why they didn't hit Burning Abyss to an extent. I guess they just wanted to keep their Beatrice alive, their Beatrice sales. Probably wanted Cosmo to be a deck, and Cosmo have a pretty favourable matchup against Burning Abyss, so arguably they didn't really need to hit because they're going to lose to their unfavourable matchup anyway, so yeah. So, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. To summarise again, I don't think the format itself is particularly bad. Sorry, I don't think the ban list itself is particularly bad, in the sense that I don't think the ban list really could have fixed anything other than outright killing these decks. That's really the only fix that this deck could have, that this ban list could have done, would just be to outright kill these decks, and we'd have to start over fresh. Like, that's the only way forward I could see for this game at this stage. If the ban list was to be, you know, rewritten now by me, like, I would just straight up just murder all of these decks, just ban them all. Like, limit Dante, ban Dart Destroyer, ban Dominion, ban Ariadne, maybe limit one or two other things, like probably, yeah, ban Keyboard as well. I talked about this extensively. My predictions are further down in my channel if you want to look up my predictions, what I personally said should have been the hits. But after rethinking it now, I kind of changed my opinion. I just hope they outright murder these decks. Like, honestly, they're just not good for the game. Yeah. So this has been my discussion on my personal opinion on the ban list. If you want further elaborations on what we've talked about in the stream, this is like a 1 hour, 10-minute podcast where we talk about the decks, and the format's for like 45 minutes, and then 15 minutes is like question and answer with a chat. It was pretty fun. And if you're not following me on Twitch, please make sure you do, and try tune in once in a while. I do pretty much nightly streams, and I will be doing more as I finish my university course and stuff like that, so feel free to join in and stuff like that. That'd be pretty fun. And I'm sorry for this awful game. Like, I just clicked random spectate, sorry. Like, you can't watch high ranked matches on DevPro, unfortunately, but yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, so that's been my video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Comment, like, subscribe, blah 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 blah.
Now that you've heard our whispers, it is only a matter of time until you